Man, what a brutal game last night for the Los Angeles Lakers in game number one against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And look, man, there's a lot of conversations that need to be had just with this Lakers roster. We saw some positives early on that game against OKC and just how the Lakers were able to attack the basket. LeBron James and his ability to get downhill. There was a fluid offense that was generating in that first half for the Los Angeles Lakers. Only thing is that besides LeBron James, and besides another consistent scoring night from Rui Hachimura, and you got some solid minutes from Deondre Ayton, who were the other guys that were going to be involved with this Lakers team to help out, to at least steal one in OKC? That's a conversation to have. When you look at the OKC bench and the Lakers, it's a real storyline right there. And I know all you guys are waiting for that moment of Austin Reaves and just his playoff performances as of late, and just how the Lakers should head into this offseason with Austin Reaves, depending on how his playoff performances are going to be. We can dive into that. I want to save that later on, though. Let's save that one for later on because it's a good conversation to have. I really want to just focus on just the difference between this series so far, which I know it's only one game, compared to the Houston Rockets series. So I think it's going to be some good conversation to have. But you guys already know what your boy has to do. I have to talk about the beautiful Pechanga Resort Casino. And you can play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, the official Native American resort and casino of the Los Angeles Lakers. Skip the traffic. Head on over to Pechanga Resort Casino just off the I-15 in Temecula. Visit pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for reservations and for more information. By the way, before we get into Lakers Thunder Game 1, Mason in Ireland is out there at Pechanga right now. And I hope you guys saw the clip of producer Emily and the whole tent blowing over and the table damn near the winds out there in Temecula at Pechanga Resort Casino. Took the whole broadcast table. If you guys have not seen that, be sure to go ahead and tune into that. They will be over there at Pechanga Resort Casino today as well. But this Lakers and Thunder matchup, man. And there's a clip right here. I mean, if you guys have not seen this, please, you have to watch that video. It is hilarious. But to talk about OKC Lakers game number one and just what I saw early on in that game. And tell you what, the first play with LeBron James and his ability to get downhill. And you saw it. You saw them get right into their set. And look how quick it was. Entry pass to DeAndre Ayton, LeBron James with the OKC Thunder. I'm going to kind of spit some of the knowledge right here. Is that OKC was playing essentially called drop coverage, meaning the big, so Isaiah Hartenstein or Chet Holmgren, whoever's guarding the screener, wasn't essentially up higher. They were sinking, going down lower and lower. So this first play that you see is LeBron James, real quick. Isaiah Hartenstein was a step slow. And guess what? LeBron James was able to get downhill, get fouled early on this game, literally right from the start. So you saw that ability. You're like, okay, that is a good offense. That's a real set. That is something that the Lakers could possibly do in the rest of this game. Now, the only thing that makes it a big difference is that OKC switched up a little bit on their defense, and they switched up on their coverages. And what was a counter to that? What were the Lakers going to do? And again, we're going to talk about Austin Reaves and his, inefficiency with his Lakers team so far in the playoff series. But besides LeBron James and Rui Hachimura, there was no other scoring coming from this Lakers team. LeBron James had an efficient night. He really did. 12 of 17. He was 3 of 6 from 3. And then you look at Rui Hachimura, 18 points in 37 minutes, 7 of 13. 3 of 6 shooting from 3. And I think the real truth-telling is that this Lakers team, their starters had 75 points. Okay? The Thunder's starters had 74. Do you guys know what the Lakers bench had? The Lakers bench, as far as their scoring, They only had, and I'm going to give you guys that stat, I believe the Lakers bench only had 14 points. Compared to OKC's bench, Lakers bench had 15 points. Compared to OKC's bench, which had 34 points. 34 points for Oklahoma City Thunder's bench. Jared Vanderbilt went out early with that dislocated finger. By the way, his bone broke through the skin. If you guys seen the graphic of that, we're not going to show you that because just because how gruesome that graphic is. But Jared Vanderbilt went out early in that game, and then I seen this guy trending all over, and his name is Jake LaRavia, and I'm really not trying to be disrespectful. I'm really not, but there is a moment where you're trying to get minutes. You're trying to find ways to get LeBron James rest. You're trying to find minutes to get Austin Reaves some rest, even though he needs to find a rhythm. And you try to go to the bench, and Jake LaRavia is not in the right spots. Jake LaRavia isn't going to be able to create his own jump shot. Jake LaRavia, you can't respect him in the three-point range because he's not a consistent three-point shooter. Jake LaRavia, for a layup, he's missing layups. He's missing easy ones. He's missing buddies. Defensively, he gives you some effort here and there. But besides that, in 14 minutes, only 2 shots. But it was like, where was the effectiveness with Jake LaRavia on the basketball court? But that's just who he is. And then another conversation to be had is Luke Kennard. You had 29 minutes. And again, in those 29 minutes, you're only getting up 4 shots. You're only getting 4 shots when you're Luke Kennard. You are the best shooter on this Lakers team. Hell, you're the best shooter in the NBA. Hence is why you won the regular season award for highest three-point field goal percentage or field goal percentage in general. You're only getting 4 shots, and a lot of those is hesitant. It's like, it doesn't feel like it's there. Or put the ball on the floor. And I get it. Luke Kennard does a lot of good things off the dribble as well, as far as trying to get others involved. But this is a game where you get that scoring from LeBron James. You're getting that scoring from Rui Hachimura. Where are you going to get the other scoring from? You want to rely on Austin Reaves? It's one game. I'm going to give Austin Reaves the benefit of the doubt. One game. We're hoping that he can pick it up come game 2 tomorrow. But Luke Kennard, the Lakers need that scoring. Those games 1 and 2 you had against the Houston Rockets, they need that in this series against OKC. Jackson Hayes is only getting 3 points, which that's fine. That's who Jackson Hayes is. He's a more of an energy and effort guy. He's going to rebound. He's going to try to protect the rim. He's going to try to run the lanes. But there's literally no one from that bench that can score. And you want to know what makes a big difference between OKC and this Lakers team? Chet Holmgren gets 24 points. They held Shai Gilgeous-Alexander under his streak, which having a consistent 20 points. The regular season streak is still alive, but him, as far as carry that over into the playoffs, it's done. He only had 18 points. And by the way, just to kind of show you guys another clip into why I felt like, as far as the game plan and how J.J. Redick approached this game, I thought it was actually fairly well. Marcus Smart is picking SGA up before he crossed the half-court line, correct? And as soon as he does, he turns his back. Marcus Smart funnels him. He's waving at Deondre Hayden. Let's go. Let's double team. Come on. We got to blitz. And LeBron James, as a veteran he is, who's been in this position numerous times, understands the rotation. This is good because you're getting the ball out of his hands. LeBron James is able to anticipate that and steals it. Because in that reversal, in that ball swing, is SGA only has one decision because Luke Kennard is over there in the right position to keep that ball away from that corner shooter. So in SGA, when you're following him to the sideline, which is the best thing in basketball, is to try to, if you want to funnel guys into that spot because there's nowhere else to go besides swing it on the opposite side, which LeBron James, once again, rotated perfectly. The Lakers had SGA with 7 turnovers. 7 turnovers. They forced the ball into SGA's hands. But you know what makes it really difficult is that he's not the only one that can put the ball on the floor. In score, it's Chet Holmgren getting 24 points. It's AJ Mitchell getting 18 points. It's Jared McCain in 15 minutes getting 12 points. But right away, the Philadelphia 76ers, even though the Sixers are having success, they beat the Boston Celtics in the first round. Still, you had a guy like him who he is seriously fitting in really well with OKC. But then they're getting 9 out of Isaiah Joe. They're getting a 5 out of Alex Caruso. But that 5 from Alex Caruso is a 3 to kind of keep the swing for OKC. But Alex Caruso is a hound on the defensive end of the basketball court. He is pressuring Austin Reaves. How many times do we see Austin Reaves try to come out the pick and roll, and Alex Caruso, Lou Dort, Kayshawn Wallace is bumping him, physical. So again, we're going to elaborate more on that. But I think that is what the biggest thing is that the game plan and the scouting report from JJ Redick and trying to implement that and doing the same ideal philosophy as blitzing SGA because you want to try to force others to beat you. The only problem is it worked on SGA. You had him doing jump passes in the air. You had him trying to flail his body. Lakers ball pressure on him, I thought was really, really well. But the only problem is that there's other guys on that team who can do more. Which the Lakers, if it's not LeBron James, if it's not Rui Hachimura, who can you really count on? I think that is what another story that is that they were able to get away with that with the Houston Rockets. You can get away with that. You can blitz Kevin Durant because Amin Thompson's not looking to shoot. Alperen Sengun's not looking to shoot. Reed Shepard was the only one in that series that was really looking to get a shot off, and Jabari Smith Jr. Tari Eason, you're going to live with him shooting the jump shot. He shot 40% in the first half. Come the second half of the season, he was damn near shooting 25% from 3. But you can't do that against OKC. And it's not like the Lakers played a bad game, meaning like the game plan was bad or awful and the approach of JJ Redick wasn't good. It's just simply as if JJ Redick doesn't have the personnel to do what he actually wants to do against a really good OKC Thunder team. But besides Marcus Smart getting those couple threes early on, offense was stagnant with him. I believe the stat line between Austin Reaves and Marcus Smart combined was 8 of 35, if I'm correct. 8 of 35 between the two of them as far as shooting. Like Marcus Smart, 4 of 15, 2 of 8 from 3. You don't have the other personnel from this Lakers team to help out. And in a game where SGA making comments that they really didn't play their best, and you're hearing everyone as far as reporters and stuff saying that was a B- game from the OKC Thunder, and they're going to be playing better. That is why everyone was saying, if the Lakers want to have a legit chance in this series against OKC, you have to you got to steal game 1. Game 1 is a perfect approach because you can make the case that OKC has some time off after the sweep against the Phoenix Suns. You can make that case. And as far as rhythm and all that stuff, whatever. But that was a game where OKC, it wasn't like this glaring game that they had. And credit to JJ Redick. When OKC was going on a run, timeout. When they saw a 10-point lead, timeout. When he saw them making a little bit of run, timeout. To the point where he can't use no more timeouts to stop the runs, to stop the bleeding. And they really need to have somebody else on this damn team that can contribute if they really.
At Pechanga Resort Casino, you can rock and roll, sip and slide, twist and shout. Play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, official Indian gaming sponsor of the Lakers.
bro. That was all right. My apologies for that. Just a complete crash out on my end of the show. So I feel like your boy was cooking too and getting into rhythm as far as game number one against OKC. And now the real conversation that needs to be had. And once again, my apologies for that. That was really unexpected. But to really focus on what everyone has been waiting for in this conversation of game number one is where is Austin Reaves? And what are the Lakers going to do with Austin Reaves? And I don't want to really do the whole conversation as far as Austin Reaves' off season and if the Lakers should give him the max and if he's a 30 to 35 per year player. I think the conversation that needs to be had is why the struggles? Why the struggles and why is he struggling? I understand that he had that month off. I truly, truly understand that. Him having to come back and him having to figure out to get back into rhythm. And I understand he got thrown into the fire and the Lakers are expecting him like, look, man, we need you to be that co-star alongside LeBron James. We need you to be able to provide scoring. We need you to be able to get to the free throw line. He's not. This is what we have to also realize is that there's reasons why we were having conversations about can Austin Reaves have a better playoff performance. It's because we all seen it. We all seen that series against the Minnesota Timberwolves when Jaden McDaniels is picking him up at half-court line, bumping him, physicality. AR can't get to his spot. He can't get to the one-drill pull-up. He can't get to the free throw line because come playoff times, what happens? The calls, the whistles, they shorten. So when you're not getting to the free throw line and his ability, that's another rhythm for him. What happens is that we start to see him trickle down and start to settle. Why is he settling for 30-foot, 40-foot jump shots from the three-point line when it's contested? I'm telling you guys, and I'm trying to keep it real, is that 3 of 16 shooting isn't going to cut it. LeBron James is at the age of 41. 41, and he's still able to be consistent. He's still able to get downhill. He's still able to find ways to get others involved. Now, Austin Reaves in a pick and roll game, I think that's the thing that we can look at in the OKC is that he was able to get down and kick out. There are some plays where a ball will fumble out of Jackson Hayes' hands or the ball will fumble out of DeAndre Ayton's hands or when it kicks out to the corner and Rui Hachimura is right there and Rui Hachimura takes a shot and some of them were contested. But you can't knock Rui because he's been consistent through this playoffs. I'm not going to be mad at DeAndre Ayton because he's been consistent throughout these playoffs. It's the consistency from Austin Reaves. And I just trying to figure out that his 18% field goal percentage in game one was the lowest by any Laker in a playoff game over the last 35 years. Now, I'm going to read that again, but I just want to look at this clip real quick. So it's going to be playing over again. And this is a possession now. It's like, it's an ugly one. So you have an action. And look where Austin Reaves and Lakers are running their offense. As soon as he crosses half court, Alex Caruso is picking him up. As soon as he crosses, Alex Caruso picking him up, hounding him, forcing him to the sideline. He turns his back. A hard hedge. I believe that's Isaiah Joe. A hard hedge. I don't understand why Luke Kennard is trying to be the screener. All right. Jackson Hayes, that purpose is if he catches the ball, it's a reset to get the ball back into Austin Reaves. But the problem is that when the Lakers do this reset, it's another pick and roll. And you got stand. And it's like, of course, Austin Reaves can't get to that lane because look at the gaps. You got two other guys in the same side. So where else is the ball going to go? Of course, he's going to have no other option to kick out to Luke Kennard. Luke Kennard does a great job taking his guy off the dribble, gets to that lane. Luke Kennard's been money in the mid in that little close shot range. But OKC, another thing is that they're able to stay in front and they're able to recover. and the ball gets thrown up in the air to Jackson Hayes, who was not in a position to really be succeeded and catch. But this is their thing is on Austin Reaves is that they're bumping you, they're physical. Can you actually turn that corner and get downhill? That's not going to be the case. It's the physicality teams that worries me when it comes to Austin Reaves. It's the OKC Thunder. It's the San Antonio Spurs. It's the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's the Houston Rockets. When Austin Reaves returned, he had that couple moments when his return to game number 5. And then besides that, it was, okay, solid performance. He was getting others involved. But the shooting and the shot making and the shot selection just has not been there. Now, I'm really on that side that I don't believe he's going to have another shooting night like that. I don't think he's going to have an 18% field goal percentage in this series. I do believe he's going to shoot the ball better. But it's the way he can shoot the ball better. And it's how can he shoot the ball better. And it's how can he find themselves into a better spot. And I see the frustration that you guys have in here is if he does this next game, what is the next conversation going to be like for Austin Reaves? What is the next conversation going to be like for Austin Reaves? And you have to look at that offseason. And you have to see which, I know Peter is loving this. Peter Acevedo is loving this in the YouTube chat is the range and paying Austin Reaves the max and seeing where that is going to be. And can he actually be that second guy? And now the conversation really has to be, should we really trust him just being that number 2 option for Luka Doncic? Is he better off having a Luka Doncic, another star, and then Austin Reaves? Is that how Lakers formula is going to be? Because if you're going to keep on having performances like this year in and year out in the playoffs, that's not helping to get better to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, or a San Antonio Spurs team is going to get better, or the Minnesota Timberwolves who seamlessly find a way to win games in playoff games. They all of a sudden are able to flip the switch because the Minnesota Timberwolves, they have the personnel to do that. They have the guys, the bodies to do that. Denver Nuggets, I get it. They did not have a good playoffs. They didn't have a good run in the playoffs. But you can count on the Denver Nuggets to always find a way to get better. What ways did the Lakers, as far as Austin Reaves, get better besides early on? His regular season scoring was remarkable. And we were all high on the train of Austin Reaves, especially when there was games where Luka Doncic and LeBron James were out and Austin Reaves was killing everybody. And we were making a conversation as, hey, this could be an all-star year. He could probably he could be an all-star team selection guy. We were having those conversations because at that moment it was the right time to have it because he was playing well. But this is what really matters, is the playoffs. Can you deliver? Can you help out other than LeBron James? How can you help scoring? How can you be in the right spots defensively? And I just don't want to solely put this on Austin Reaves. It's just because they need that from him. They need his scoring. That is why everyone was excited to see him return, is because the Lakers were missing that. But if you can't be consistent enough and you're going to have the same narrative and you can't do well against teams who have the athleticism and the size and they have the physicality and you're just going to get bumped off every single time in the pick and roll game and you're not being able to get to the free throw line, then what's going to happen? And by the way, this Ric Flair clip that, our crew in the back is bringing up. Ric Flair had this moment last night, tweeting this out, saying, Luka Doncic, please get in the game, take a shot of cortisone, and deal with the pain. They're paying you $50 million a year, and you're not there. WTF. I hope GD trades you next year. Nobody wants a lame duck on their team. Ric Flair, ain't nobody trading Luka Doncic. And LeBron James elaborated on that is that they are missing their 35-point-per-game score. They are. I don't know how much of a difference it really will make against this series against OKC, But Lakers are missing that guy, Luka Doncic, his ability to his shot creating, his shot making, his shot taking, and being able to facilitate. But Ric Flair, you need to chill out a little bit, Ric Flair. Luka Doncic. By the way, there's an update on him as well. He has been running. He's been doing the proper recovery process, and he said he needed 4 days in between. The reason why he was in Spain so long because he needed 4 days in between every shot. So he did it 4 times, and so that's why he stayed longer. And he says that he's just in the process. He's working every day. He said he feels better every day. He said in the beginning they said it was going to be 8 weeks. So we can just go from there. And realistically, after seeing all these reports, and it's looking like Luka Doncic will probably not return in this series against OKC. And it's just a matter of what can the Lakers get out of the rest of their guys? Because this is another story. This is another story as far as the Lakers bench and as far as can they contribute. And that has been the story for these past couple of seasons, is that they get other teams get the most out of the rotational guys. There's no energy. There's no drop off. But with this Lakers team, for some reason, there is drop off. And Brian, when I mentioned Luka running, I'm talking about like running up and down the basketball court. He's not participating in 5-on-5s or any scrimmages like that. It's just him, ball in his hands, jogging up and down the basketball court, light movement to kind of activate the hamstring. So nothing too crazy, Brian, to elaborate more onto that. But I see what you guys are saying. And the biggest conversation is Austin Reaves. And JF saying AR is non-athletic. Young athletic teams run circles around him. And that is where, when you're the Lakers and you're seeing how when you match up with teams who are younger and a lot more physical and able to get downhill, up and down a lot quicker, can your second guy that you are going to pay money, I do believe Austin is going to get paid. He is a talented player. He is going to get paid, and that's a conversation that we can dive deeper in, come after the postseason and heading into the offseason. But it's just, it's just hard to fathom like how well he does in the regular season. And then come postseason, it's teams zero in. Teams are locked into the scouting report and they make the right adjustments and the right movements. And they understand what Austin Reaves' ability and what he wants to do. And that's get to the free throw line. By the way, Austin Reaves only shot 2 free throws. Didn't mention that. He only shot 2 free throws. It's a problem. When you're not able to get to the free throw line, hell, you got to get to the driving lanes, first of all, to even get fouled. But every single thing in that game against OKC was settling around the perimeter, a contested mid-range shot, floaters that weren't really necessarily going to go in. It's tough. And that is just where we're at. But to close out this episode and to read some more off in the YouTube chat is Spark Word says, I feel like AR is trying to sabotage Kennard to look bad so he doesn't outshine. I feel like AR is trying to sabotage Kennard to look bad so he doesn't outshine AR because of how Luke played in Houston. Now, Spark, I'm not necessarily going to agree with that. And I appreciate you commenting, but I'm not going to agree with that because you need to have both of those guys in spots to help out. Luke Kennard's on the basketball court for the spacing aspect, but not only for the spacing, but you got to find a way to get your shot off. You got to find a way to get more than 4 attempts. And JJ Redick is drawing up things and stuff, but they have to be able to execute. And the execution did not fall in that second half. You got to play damn near perfect against OKC when you are the Los Angeles Lakers. But it's been a good one. And once again, my apologies for the audio earlier. Be sure that won't happen again. And for you guys in the YouTube chat, I hear what you guys are saying, and the frustrations are there. Playoff games plan when the Lakers play, it's attack Austin Reaves. Game plan is attack Austin Reaves. Go at Austin Reaves. And hopefully he can change that narrative heading into game number 2 against OKC tomorrow. And the days in between, only one day in between That's another thing we have to look at when it comes to this Lakers team is the fatigue factor and all those different types of aspects. That day in between is not ideal for a guy like LeBron James. And that's why other guys on this Lakers team need to step the hell up. I know, I see it. Put Bronny James in. Put Adu Theory. Let's get, yep, I get all that. But they're not ready to go. Sorry, they're not ready to go right now in this playoff series against OKC. Now, we just got to see if the production from the others can be there, besides LeBron James and Rui Hachimura, who have been real consistent, and DeAndre Ayton, by the way. That is the name of the game when you match up against OKC. You have to play damn near perfect. You can't make little mistakes. Let's see. Game number 2 is tomorrow. What type of Lakers team are we going to get? What type of performance are we going to get from Austin Reaves? Can Luke Kennard get more than 4 shots up? All of those things are going to come into play for tomorrow's game. But for you guys in the YouTube chat, as always, I'm very, very grateful for you guys. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. And the crew in the back, Brooke, Tim, Dean, thank you guys for running this operation. I will be talking to you guys tomorrow, and you guys can catch me on the DeMarco and Travis afternoon show. As always, have a great rest of your day. Your boy is out.